Hello to you. It's been a while, hasn't it? And a big happy new year to you. January the 2nd, 2024 is where we are now. Haven't been there for a while, but hope to make some little videos like this going forward. All right, my darlings. I just wanted to come on today and tell you not to waste 2 hours of your time. Seriously. My mate came over yesterday, Ronnie. And we, whenever he comes over, we select something on the telly to watch. Sometimes it takes ages. It's always beyond me when we had like 3 channels when I was a kid. And you would sit down in front of the telly for the entire evening watching one channel, maybe switching across. And it was always something to watch. Now, hundreds and hundreds of channel of pure, unadulterated crap. But nevertheless, we look, and last night we looked on Netflix, and it looked quite good. A film called Leave the World Behind. Okay, so we watched a little trailer, and we thought, yeah, this is looking good. And the synopsis on Netflix says, a family vacation on Long Island is interrupted by 2 strangers bearing news of a blackout. As the threat grows, both families must decide how best to survive for the potential crisis, all while grappling with their own place in this collapsing world. Okay, so that looked good. And we, as I say, we watched a little trailer, and that was all very good as well. So we started watching a film. And we were really enjoying it, to be honest. It was like getting... It was interesting. You're thinking, right, okay, well, this is leading to somewhere, and it went on, but it didn't lose our interest. You know, like some films, and I've got to be honest, usually on Netflix, not usually, but a lot of the time on Netflix, I abandon films or TV series. Something that I never ever used to do when we just had BBC One, BBC Two, and ITV. You'd watch the whole thing, right? With Netflix, I find myself abandoning quite a lot of the stuff, sort of, and I'll give it a good 45 minutes, an hour, and then I just thought, I don't know where this is going. But this appeared to be going somewhere, and we were enjoying all of it. And then suddenly at the end, there was an explanation to what had happened, but then it just stopped. The screen went blank, and the captions came up. And I looked at my mate, and he looked at me, and he said, WTF, you know what that means, right? I said, maybe they show a few captions. You know, like some films do. They show a few captions, and then they come back to it again, don't they? With a little bit more of an explanation. No, that was it. And they were like, we have just wasted 2 hours of our life for a film that in our eyes just didn't seem to end. A little bit like sometimes, you know, when you get those dramas on the telly and they cancel them mid-series. Snowpiercer is one of them. Anyone watch Snowpiercer? Right? We had a few series of that, or in American terms, seasons. And then we were promised the next season, which was all filmed and is all in the can, but they didn't show it. Why did they do that? Anyway, do not waste 2 hours of your life on Netflix watching Leave the World Behind. You'll watch the little opening film, you think, oh, this looks quite good, and you will be disappointed. And I'm not the only one to say that, because I've seen people on TikTok doing that as well. Okay? That's just my little bit of advice for you on this second day of 2024. Now, if you're not aware of what's happened, I'm going to tell you a little bit more. Look at this, right? Okay, hello, yes. The electric scooter. Oh, God. I went slap bang into a lamppost. I have no idea how it happens. The lamppost is not on the cycle path that I was using it on, but nevertheless, I went slap bang into this lamppost. Fortunately, it's only me that's damaged and not the lamppost, so no bill from the council. And I dislocated my shoulder. It is the worst pain I have ever experienced, to the point of actually wanting to die. I said, because eventually, somehow, I don't know how I managed it, but after laying there for a while, and all I could smell was dog poo. It's all I could smell, yet I didn't appear to have anything on me. My mate reckons I slipped on dog poo on the path, which I just had failed to see, and that sent me straight into the lamppost, went over and dislocated my shoulder. Now, there's got to be a few people out there who are watching this now who have also had some sort of dislocation of an item, a knee, or I don't know, shoulder blade or whatever in their lives. It is the worst pain ever. I'm not quite sure what was worse, the burst appendix I had in 1999 or this, but this is way up the list. And it was 5 hours before they got the thing back. There's quite a lot to the story, and I'll tell it. Apologies if you've heard it already on my radio show. After going slap bang into the lamppost, 14 mile an hour, which is the fastest my scooter can do. The worrying thing is, I know there's kids around here who have adjusted their scooters. Now, I'm not sure how you do this, whether you add a gadget to it or cut a wire or something. They've adjusted their electric scooters and they're doing 30, 40, 50 mile an hour. Believe me, they are, because I've seen them. Crazy. If I can do this at 14 mile an hour, just imagine what you'd do at 50. You know, they always say slow down your car, don't they? 20's plenty in London. You can kind of understand why now. It's frustrating for drivers, but I get it. I laid there for some moments, maybe a couple of minutes, smelling this dog poo. It was awful. Oh God, I gotta. And then I tried to get up. I could not move. Eventually, I managed to struggle up after someone had completely ignored me and virtually walked past me, which shocked me as well. I mean, they saw me and turned off the path, so they didn't have to walk past me, which really disappointed me. Humans just are beyond me sometimes. They really are. Somehow I managed to get up. I rang my mate who came along in the car, and I walked down to the end of the path to the main road where he came, bent over this thing, and the pain. And he said, get in the car. I said, I can't get in the car. I can't physically get in the car. Managed it somehow. Went to a health centre where I was just so noisy, and it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing to realise now how noisy I was in there, literally crying out in pain. Doctor kind of in there told us it's not a casualty, which it isn't, it's a health space. But we kind of seen this stuff on the telly and someone comes along and clicks your arm back in and everything's fine. Well, it ain't like that, mate. It ain't like that. My arm had been hanging down like this, like Quasimodo. I couldn't do anything with it. So eventually he got us into a little room and I bypassed the queue. Really loud. Okay. Went on this gas stuff eventually, and that kind of took the edge off it. But of course, it made me start talking crap, and believe me, I did. I do have a couple of videos of that. I may show you one a little bit further into the future, but I'm not ready to show that yet. Of me talking crap on this gas stuff, right? I think it was called Nox. Laughing gas, although it didn't make me laugh. Why kids want to go out and buy this stuff and sniff it is beyond me, but there you go, they do. And he said, well, I'm going to have to call you an ambulance. He sent me for an x-ray. The x-ray said dislocated. I do have a little picture of that here, I think, actually, I could show you. I didn't load that onto the system. I didn't think. I wasn't going to go down this route. I was just going to tell you about that film, not to bother to watch, but we've gone a little bit further. There you go. I can show you a couple of pictures here. All right. There's me arm looking a bit odd in the doctor's. And here's the x-ray. I don't know if you can see that all right. If I tip, there you go. That's the x-ray there, okay? If you know anything about x-rays, which I don't, my shoulder is in completely the wrong place. So he called an ambulance, said it would be about an hour. Meantime, I'm sucking away on this blooming gas stuff. The ambulance crew arrived. By this time, I'm quite delirious because of the gas. And I'm talking crap, really. So, beautiful ambulance staff. Such lovely, caring people, really. Anyway, so they wheeled me through all the people, and I'm like, bye-bye, everyone. I'm going now. Bye-bye. See, my mates... I can remember it all. I remember it all. That's the weird thing about it. Got to the ambulance, and I'm thinking, are you going to push me onto this? No. You're going to have to step up those steps. Oh, my God. Managed to do it. Back in the ambulance, straight back on the gas. While I was coming through the people, no gas. And believe me, that wears off very, very quickly. In the space of a minute and a half, it just wasn't doing anything anymore. Got to the hospital, Frimley Park. Can't complain. Frimley Park Hospital got seen fairly quickly. Taken in, they did some stuff, looked at some stuff. Couldn't have any more gas because I've had over an hour and 20 minutes of it now. Pain is back, severe pain. And they put me in a major's room waiting for doctors to arrive, which they did eventually. It did take them some time, hour and a half, maybe 2 hours to get to me. They came in. I think I had a couple of things of morphine and paracetamol, which they squeezed into my mouth. I'll be honest, I don't think it did anything. I really don't think it did anything. My mate's been with us all this time, incidentally. I do not know what I would have done without him. Seriously. I don't know how I would have coped without him next to me the entire time, except in the ambulance where he followed behind in his car. Fortunately, he's got a disabled badge, so he don't have to pay the exorbitant fees that they pay in hospital car parks, which is just another subject altogether, isn't it? And eventually these doctors came in. They had a look. Right, we got a couple of things we can try here. The first one is to actually put it back in place. We'll take you to another room and try it in there. We'll give you some sort of drug to take your mind off it. Okay. So they went off and they came back. Oh, there's no room in there at the moment, so we're going to try and do it here. And with that, one stood this side and held that arm. The other stood that side, right? And he gave me this little thing. It was like a kazoo. You know those kazoos? Where you play tunes by blowing in this thing. It was a box, and he opened this box and took out this kazoo, and he opened a little compartment on the kazoo and then poured in this little vial of liquid. I have no idea what it was, but it was all sealed up in this little box. And he said, right, I want you to suck 5 times hard on that, okay? And then we're going to try it. Okay, so I got this thing, I go, and one suck, I'm telling you, what? And I'm like, like that. At which point my mate grabs my hand and says, he said, they said 5, and shoved it back in my like, and I'm like that. At this point, this bloke has now lifted up my arm, which I've not been able to do. And I do remember it being extremely painful. The odd thing is, I don't remember the actual pain. Do you know what I mean? So, this is obviously what this sucking drug thing does. Okay? So they were, I don't know how long they were doing that. I've not a clue how long they were doing that. But eventually they put the arm back down my side, got me this sling, placed it into the position, and said, we think that's okay now. We're going to have to send you for another x-ray to check that it's back in place. Sit tight, okay? So, I don't know, 10, 20 minutes later, bloke comes down with x-ray. Nice bloke. Nice bloke. By now, the pain is nowhere near as bad as it had been for 5 hours. 5 hours, man. Excuse me. 5 hours of terrible pain. So he wheeled me down, and on the way down, I like to talk to people, you know. I said, do you like your job? No, not really. I said, oh, don't you? He said, no, I should be the manager of this place. Lovely bloke. Went in for the x-ray, came back, waited a little bit longer, and then the doctors came back and said, it looks like it's all in place now. We're going to send the bone doctor down to see you shortly. Okay, thank you very much. Off they went. A little bit later, 2 other blokes came down, and they had looked at the things and looked at my blood tests and all this business, and they were happy, okay, to how it was looking. They told me, is there any problems? And he started rubbing his finger up and down my hand. Can you feel that? Yes. Can you feel that? Can you feel that? Can you feel that? Any trouble? Yeah, I said I've got 3 tingling fingers, which I've still got now, which is, 10 or 11 days after the incident. It happened on Friday morning, just before Christmas, Friday morning, about 10:20 in the morning when I was scootering up to the gym, you see. That's when it occurred. And he gave me some more information, which when you're sitting there completely off your head and you're not quite sure what's going on at all. And they said the hospital would contact me. You can go home now. Thank you very much. Incidentally, in this time, the tea lady came around twice, which was quite nice. And we got free sandwiches, which was nice. Me and my mate got free sandwiches, which are available to the patients, which we didn't know. We were prepared to go to a machine and have a look. So that was that. And we went home, got in the car. It was a lot easier getting in the car now because they put it back into the position. And here we are. As I say, what date did it happen? So it happened on the 22nd of December at 20 past 10 in the morning. I know the exact times because my timings are very exact on a Friday because I go to work. So that was the 22nd, Friday the 22nd of December, and it's now Tuesday the 2nd of January. And that's what's been happening. As time has gone on, my fingers are working better. I still have the tingling in 3 fingers, okay? I can move my arm up and down now like this, but I cannot move it outwards. I don't know why. I cannot move it outwards. And if I try and lift it from this position, it won't go up. It's painful. I could probably push it through the pain, but I'm not sure that I should be doing that. And that's where I am at the moment. Tomorrow morning, Wednesday the 3rd, I've got fracture clinic at the hospital, so my mate's coming down to take me to that because of course I can't drive, can't do anything. The only thing I can do is my daily radio show or anything on the computer because I can do it with one hand, assisted by my right hand, but mainly it's my left hand doing everything at the moment. Cooking, washing up, showering is a bit difficult. My mate has to help me shower. Okay, I can get down to the bottom bits. When it comes to doing under the arms, that's difficult. And he leans in the shower and does that for me. So that's good. And that's it. So fracture clinic tomorrow. I was surprised when I looked earlier today, just checking times and all that. It's a 10-minute appointment. And I'm kind of thinking, what can they do in 10 minutes? Because I've got so many questions I want to ask him. You know, I've got them all written down and all that. But one of those things. So we'll see where we are tomorrow, and I'll do an update on here or something when I do the next video. Okay, my brother-in-law also, from of course the Butler's Empire channel, he's had his own issues as well, unfortunately, which you will see if you just go to the Butler's Empire channel. You'll see him talking about there, and I'm aware of some of you who sent lovely messages on the Butler's Empire channel when it was mentioned that I'd done this. So thank you very much for your very kind comments and what have you. And that same week, my mate, I had to call an ambulance out for him because he had a serious asthma attack. He's telling me not to call the ambulance, and I looked at him and I thought, you're having a bleeding ambulance, so I called one. You know, in actual fact, 3 ambulances we had out in a week. And we're not people that ring ambulances. You know, like some of these people, God, they think it's some sort of taxi service, don't they? Dreadful. Dreadful. Every 5 minutes. We don't call out ambulances. Well, I had to call one out for him on the Tuesday night, or the Monday night, whatever it was. And then Tuesday morning at 4 a.m, I had to call out one for myself because I had a terrible stomach problem, really bad pain, but it was going up into my sort of ribs, and they thought it was something to do with my heart. This is the lady on 111, which is if you're outside the UK, 111 is like a phone number if you've got a medical issue but you don't think it's a life or death. So that's what you ring. But after I told her the story, she sent an ambulance round. So it was the second time I went to the hospital. When they said it was it's in your heart area, I'm like, no, it can't be my heart. All that swimming and walking and cycling and blooming gym I do, I don't think so. But nevertheless, they came round and said, yeah, you need to go to hospital. Hours it was in there. Oh, hours. Hours. But that turned out to be an unknown problem which basically went away. So that was good. And then a couple of days later I was back down there, but this time was something a little bit more serious. All right. So that's what the sling's for. Keep your fingers crossed, and those of you that pray, say a prayer for me that this gets fixed quickly, because I can't work. I can't play the organ. I can't do most of the stuff I normally do. But what I can do is sit here and do this. And this is probably why I've done a video, to be honest, because I'm like climbing the walls in here. and I can also do my radio shows, all right? When it comes to the live talk show, as you know, that stopped around September, wasn't it? August, September, October sort of thing. It just stopped. I'd lost interest in it, to be honest. I just didn't feel it was going anywhere. And whenever I took it tried to take it to another direction, you'd get people moan and that. And I gave up. After about 14 or 15 years I've been doing that not live chat shows like this, I gave up the live one. I haven't missed it at all. I can't lie to you. I haven't missed doing the live chat show at all. And at this stage, I've no interest in bringing it back again. Okay, just in case you're wondering there. There are a couple of live things I do. They're on the radio. All right. First of all, my favourite thing to do in the week is my daily music and chat show, which I do on a radio station called Reach on Air. Okay, there it is on your screens now. You can listen on your smart speaker. All you got to do is say Amazon, the lady Amazon, play radio station Reach on Air, and she'll play it. You can also watch on TikTok. The username is Chris Reardon UK. So do a subscribe on TikTok and you can watch it there. And that's Monday to Friday between 9 and 10 o'clock in the morning. And I have great fun doing that. The music on the morning show is quite dancey, okay? There's a lot of house in there, a little bit of pop, a little bit of soul. We do play games as well. We play Name That Tune, Blankety Blank, The Wheel. We have a good old chit-chat. People send each other messages for me to read out, which is lovely. And I really enjoy doing that. And that's between 9 and 10 o'clock. Or you can listen on your computer or your mobile phone. Just type in reachonair.com and click the listen button there. I also do just a Tuesday night show on the same station. The music is much more varied on Tuesday night. Anything old, anything new, could be dancey, a little bit of rock, doesn't matter what it is, okay? And we do some of the same features. We play a couple of ballads as well. And that's on the same radio station. It's called Tuesday Night Live. And reachonair.com again. Once again, you can listen on your smart speaker. Say Amazon, play radio station, Reach on Air, and live on TikTok, unless we get another ban on TikTok, which seems to come up, quite regularly, and we have no idea why, because it will say so. I'd done the other day. What were they saying? Oh, I'd been promoting tobacco products. We were all of us here, all the listeners and that, we were racking our brains to try and understand what I'd done wrong, and no one really knew what it was. Anyway, so that's where we are now. Anyway, thanks very much for watching and listening, boys and girls. I will do these little shows like this now and again. There's no schedule for them, just when I fancy doing someone. I'll rephrase that. When I fancy doing anyone, to be honest. When I fancy doing one, I'll come up here and turn the camera on and perhaps record a little show like this. And you're welcome, of course, to put your comments underneath there. The email has now gone. Okay, the email has gone, the United Kingdom Talk one. There is another email, which if you really want to send an email, you can use. And it's very easy, chris@chrisreardon.co.uk. chris@chrisreardon.co.uk is my email address. Otherwise, put a comment under here and I'll read them out for you next time I'll do a show, whenever that is. All right, there's also a new little end bit as we're in 2024 now. So once again, Happy New Year to you all. Don't bother. The summary of this show is Happy New Year. Don't watch the film on Netflix, Leave the World Behind, because it's 2 hours of your life you'll never get back. And my arm, well, I hope it doesn't take too long to repair itself, my shoulder. Thank you. Ta-ra now.